Just find a comfortable position on your back and just come there using any props that you might have handy with you today. Just a reminder that everything that we're doing during our practice today is an invitation. So if something does not feel good for your body today, I really want you to be mindful of what you need today. So thinking about making any modifications or taking some alternate poses, that's always available, and you're always welcome to come back to any comfortable resting position of your choice. So just take a few moments to just allow yourself to be present on your mat. So we've been talking a little bit over the past several weeks and probably several months about changing perspective. We're going to touch on that just a little bit today and see if we can bring it into our practice. So every day when we're thinking about how we approach the day and how we approach different things, we kind of approach that based on whatever our own perspective is. And this is formed from our different history and interactions with different people and how we've kind of lived our lives. And that sort of helps us to be able to be successful and basically be efficient and effective in the world as we know it. Sometimes, especially now, it can be helpful to take a different perspective, to try to look at something through someone else's eyes, or maybe perhaps how they're experiencing it. So as you're laying comfortably here on your back, I want you just to take time to notice how your perspective might change while you lay on your back. Notice the space that you're in. Notice your surroundings. Notice any noises or other sensations that you might notice either through your hearing, through your nose, through your mouth, or through your eyes. I'm just taking a few moments just to feel the ground beneath your body. And then today I encourage you that if you start to have an interaction with someone, maybe it's a loved one or somebody that you work with, or maybe it's a patient, if you find yourself frustrated, I invite you to really do your best to be empathetic and think about maybe where that other person might be coming from. What experience do you think have shaped that individual and their responses to whatever the situation might be? What experience that you've had have kind of made you react or respond in the way that you're reacting? And then maybe just thinking about, is there a different way that you can respond to those situations? And I think this is a good thing to keep in mind, both in our yoga practice as we're moving through challenging poses or things that maybe don't feel that great for our body, or perhaps maybe things that feel challenging, and then also off of our mats, considering those same things. So changing our perspective is kind of going to be the theme for this week. If you haven't already, I invite you to take a couple of cleansing breaths. So inhaling deeply through your nose. Take a pause at the top of the in-breath and just feel what you feel. And then open the mouth, big heavy sigh, let it out. Go ahead, one more time. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Pause at the top of the inhale. And then nice big exhale through the mouth. And go ahead and place one hand over the belly, one hand over the heart. Notice the sensation of your breath. And then create an intention for your practice today. Maybe it's something along the lines of that changing or new perspective that we talked about. Maybe there's somebody in your life that you'd like to dedicate your practice to. Whatever that is, just drawing that intention into your heart. breathing into it, allowing it to be a little bit more alive and real and present with you. And then we'll take one more cleansing breath, inhaling deeply through the nose. Big, heavy exhale through the mouth. And then when you feel ready, you can go ahead and just take your arms either out to a T or to goalpost arms. And then just bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Take a nice deep breath in with your knees up towards the ceiling. And then on an exhale, let them fall to the right side. Turn your gaze to the left. 2 breaths here into the left side body. Relaxing through the face and jaw. On your next inhale, bring the knees back up to the center. And then as you exhale, let them drop to the left side, turning the gaze to the right. 2 deep breaths into the right side. Noticing your body, noticing what comes up for you today. Inhaling back to center. As you exhale, go ahead and take your left leg, cross it over the right. Pressing that left knee out to the side. If you'd like, on an exhale, draw the legs in towards the chest. Wrap your hands around your right thigh. Reclining pigeon pose. Find a little bit of movement or stillness, whatever feels good for your body. Continuing to breathe deeply. So inhaling and exhaling, maybe starting to find that ujjayi breath. That slight constriction in the back of the throat on the exhalation, creating a little bit of a whirling sensation in the back of the throat. Try to keep that present as you practice today. And then extend your right out long, draw the left knee into the chest, extend your foot up towards the ceiling, just a laying down hamstring stretch here. Bending and straightening the knee or rotating the ankle, whatever feels good for you. Allow some breath to flow into the back of that left thigh. Couple of breaths here. And then as you exhale, pull the knee into the chest, tip it over towards the right shoulder. So feel a little bit of a stretch into the glute and the outer hip. Maybe doing your best to keep both sides of the pelvis on the mat for more of a hip stretch. Otherwise, more of a spine twist. You can let the back of your pelvis come off the mat, whatever feels good for you today. Take another nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, release. This time, pull both knees in towards the shoulders, taking them a little bit wider. Reach between your feet, come to happy baby pose, or wide leg straddle if that's in your practice. Just take a little bit of rocking from side to side here. Releasing through the low back, finding a little bit of length through the inner thighs. Good, draw the knees into the chest, and then as you exhale, go ahead and set them down. This time we'll take the right leg, cross it over the left, allowing the right knee to press out to the side. On an exhale, draw the legs in, grab behind the left thigh, reclining pigeon. Any movement or stillness that feels good for you. This is a great time to check in with your body, kind of noticing how things are feeling today as we start to invite a little bit of length and a little bit of movement into the lower half and the trunk. Good, then extend that left leg all the way out. Draw the right knee in and extend the right foot up towards the ceiling for a laying down hamstring stretch here. Again, don't worry about getting that right knee all the way straight. You can bend and straighten if that feels good, but just working on a little bit of length as we start our practice today in the back of that right thigh. And then on your next exhale, go ahead and draw the knee into the chest, tip it over towards the left shoulder, glute and outer hip stretch here on the right. Can keep the back of the pelvis on the mat or let that right side come up, whatever feels good for you. Just kind of connecting with yourself, getting in your body a little bit here today. Good. On an exhale, draw both knees in. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze. Pull the knees into the chest. And then as you exhale, set the feet down on the mat. Let your arms be out long. Prep for bridge pose here. So your feet are going to be about hips distance apart. Get the shoulder blades underneath you just slightly. And as you inhale, float the hips up. As you exhale, pause. Inhale, sweep your arms up next to your ears. Exhale, pause. Inhale, let your arms come down. And then exhale, lower the hips. Good, we'll do that a couple more times. Nice dynamic bridge pose. So inhale, float your hips. Exhale, pause. Inhale, float the arms, sweep them up. Exhale, pause. Inhale, lower the arms down. Exhale, release the hips. Good, one last time, dynamic bridge. Inhale, float the hips. Exhale, pause. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, pause. Inhale, lower the arms. Exhale, lower the hips. Good, go ahead and draw the knees in and just start to rock lengthwise along your spine 2 or 3 times. And then cross at the ankles and come into tabletop. So coming into hands and knees. Hands are going to be underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Just start to take some big hip circles here. So making a big circle around in a clockwise direction on your mat a couple of times. And then circle it back around counterclockwise. Just kind of getting into the trunk, feeling a little length into the forearms. And then start to cycle through cat and cow with your pace of breath. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, cow. Exhale, tuck and round, cat if you want, child's pose on the end of that exhale. We'll spend about a minute here just moving at your own pace. So inhale, cow. Exhale, tuck and round, maybe coming into child's pose or maybe just cycling between cat and cow. So do what feels good for you. Another option, if you'd like, is drop the front of the hips down, come to cobra pose, and then tuck and round into cat, maybe child's pose. So any variations of those poses, perfectly fine. Do what your body needs today. And as you're flowing with your breath, just start to kind of establish that cadence with movement and breathing. So doing your best to link one movement with each breath, in or out. If you need a little bit of extra time in those poses, please feel free to take that. Maybe taking a different pose today that you're not used to taking, or if you're a mover and you like to constantly be kind of moving and going from one pose to the next, maybe this is a good time to just settle in and stay in a pose for a few extra breaths. Same thing if you like to kind of maybe take a slower approach to your practice. We're talking about changing perspectives, so maybe just doing your best to try to keep your body moving today. We'll finish the cycle that we're on. And then when you feel ready, come back to that tabletop position. Walk your hands up towards the top edge of your mat and press back to downward facing dog, lifting your sit bones up and back. Really using the length of your mat here. Maybe taking a pause to float to plank to check your spacing. And then on that exhale, pressing back to down dog. Let's find some movement with the legs. So pedaling out the feet or alternating, dropping a knee into the center. Just start to appreciate some length into the spine and the back of the legs. Really grounding down through the hands and feet. Think about floating the heels up, melting them down towards the floor. Feeling the length in the back of the thighs. Do that a few times if that's available to you today. Really softening in through the back of the neck. Letting go of any tension in the face and the jaw. And then eventually walking the feet back in. So they're about hips distance apart. Looking forward, step the right foot through and come to low lunge. Just gently walk or sweep your arms up. And let's drop the hands back on top of the sacrum, interlace them, open up the chest and shoulders, breathe. Just bringing a little bit of length into the hip flexors. Good, release the hands, take your left arm, reach it up and over. Nice little side stretch here, reaching those right fingertips for the floor. Beautiful. Deep breath in, reach both arms up to the center. And as you exhale, take a twist to the right. Just setting that left hand on the outside of your right knee, extending the right arm back. Good. Take a nice deep breath into center. As you exhale, take your hands down. Step that right leg back to tabletop. Take a breath in and then step your left foot forward. Walk or sweep up, low lunge, second side. Just dropping the shoulders down away from the ears. Go ahead and press your palms forward. Round out your back. Drop the chin a little bit. Just let some breath flow between the shoulder blades. Tucking that tailbone under, so really pressing the front of your right hip forward. Release the arms. Take a breath in. Right arm reaches up and over. Exhale to side stretch to the left. Nice deep breath in here. Good. On your next inhale, both arms come up. As you exhale, take a twist to the left. Extend that left arm back. Nice, easy twist from the low belly here. Good. Inhale, come back to center. As you exhale, take your hands down to the mat. Curl your back toes under. Come to Malasana or garland pose at the top of your mat. So you're going to turn your toes out about 45 degrees. Let the tailbone sink low. Bring the hands to heart center. Beautiful. Working towards melting those heels to the floor. Keep your chest lifted. Think about lifting up through the top of your head as well. On an inhale, try floating one or both of your heels. So bringing a little bit of length. Continuing to point that tailbone down, lifting the top of your head up. As you exhale, let the heels sink down. Breathe. Think about pressing the knees out to the side a little bit. Get tall through your spine here, so chest is lifted. Good. As you exhale, release your hands down to the mat. Toe heel your feet out wide, so they're at the long edges of your mat. Toes are going to be off the mat. Just your heels will be on the mat. And then inhale, come to a yogi squat. So your hands are going to come to the inner thighs here. Chest is lifted. So hands will be to the inner thighs. Good, beautiful. Take a nice deep breath in here. As you exhale, you're going to drop your left shoulder in, turn and look back to the right. And while you do that, I want you to think about pressing that left knee out to the side so you're getting a little bit of an inner thigh stretch. Good. Take another breath in. As you exhale, come back to center. Breathe in. Trunk is long, so belly is still in, chest is lifted. This time as you exhale, right shoulder dips in. Turn and gaze back to the left. Pressing that right knee out to the side a little bit. Inner thigh groin stretch. Come back to center. Breathe in. As you exhale, forward fold. So relax the knees, toe heel your feet back in. So they're about hips distance apart, and just allow the knees to bend here. So generously folding, knees are bent, upper body is going to sway a little bit. Do what feels good for you here. Let the back of the neck relax. And when you're ready, inhale and come to a flat back, halfway lift. Draw the shoulder blades towards the spine, pull the belly in. Exhale, round and fold. Let your chest come down towards your thighs. Nice deep knee bend. Good. Press through your feet. Come all the way up to stand. Lift your arms up over your head. Look up. And then exhale, bring the hands together at heart center. Good. At the top of your mat, find mountain pose. Palms are forward. We're going to start our practice with a little bit of balancing. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, shift your weight to your left foot. Take your variation of tree pose. So to start your tree, you might just be in kickstand today, and that's perfectly fine. Otherwise, if you're comfortable, you're going to float that right foot up to your calf or your inner thigh. Good, continuing to breathe. Go ahead and bring the hands together above the head. Hands at prayer at heart center. Good, lengthen the fingertips up. Take a steeple grip over your head. Nice deep breath in. Really think about lifting through the fingertips, lifting through the hands so your trees are getting nice and tall here. Good, as you exhale, release the arms, release the foot. Come back to mountain pose, breathe in, lengthen across your chest and shoulders. On an exhale, take tree side two. Be mindful of your pelvic position here, so you're keeping your hips level. Try not to let your hip pop out to the side. Float your arms up, drop the shoulders down, and breathe. Think about pressing that left knee out to the side here. Good, take your hands in prayer over your head. Think about lengthening. We'll find that steeple grip again. So fingertips are gonna reach towards the ceiling, growing your tree a little bit taller, really grounding down through that foot. Nice deep breath in here. As you exhale, release everything, come back to mountain pose. Good, top of your mat, breathe in, sweep the arms nice and big out to the side, little back bend. As you exhale, swan dive, forward fold, leading with your heart. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Look up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. One more time through half sun salutation. Inhale, sweep up, little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach all the way up. Look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. High lunge salutation. Inhale, sweep up. Little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. One pace per breath here, or one pose per breath. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step your right foot back, high lunge. Walk or sweep up. Breathe in. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank pose. Breathe in. Exhale, down dog. 2 breaths, grounding through your hands and feet. Good, looking forward. This time, right foot steps through, rise up to high lunge, up on the ball of the back foot. Exhale, hands to the mat, step forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand all the way up. Look up. Little back bend. Exhale, forward fold, right to the next one. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, right foot steps back, high lunge, sweep up. Shoulders over the pelvis here. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank pose. Good, set your knees down, come all the way to your tummy. Inhale, locust pose, arms down at your sides. Breathe into the back body. Exhale, hands to the mat, down dog. 2 breaths. Looking forward, right foot steps through, rise up, high lunge, back knee is straight, soft tops of the shoulders. Beautiful. Exhale, hands to the mat, step forward. Breathe in, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Trying to establish your cadence with your breath. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, right foot steps back, high lunge. Walk or sweep up. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank pose. Good, set your knees down, come to your tummy. Inhale, cobra or locust pose. Back bend of your choice here. Exhale, down dog. 2 breaths. Spread your fingers nice and wide, really ground down. Feel the ground beneath your hands and feet. Look forward, right foot steps through, high lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat, step it forward. Inhale, plank pose, or inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, toe heel your feet to touch, or you can leave them a little bit apart. We're gonna move on to Sun Salutation B today. So on your next in breath, sink low, come to Utkatasana or chair pose. Tuck the tailbone under, keep the heart lifted. Good, exhale, airplane arms, sweep them back. Chest is lifted and breathe. Good, inhale, sweep them up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank pose from your toes or your knees, that Vinyasa series, lower halfway chaturanga. Inhale, locust, cobra, up dog, whatever feels good for you today. Exhale, downward facing dog. Remember, you're always welcome to come to any resting pose of your choice, yogis. Inhale, right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it forward, warrior one. Pivot the back heel down. Soft tops of the shoulders. Good. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank pose. You decide. Vinyasa series or down dog or child's pose. Any back bend, so cobra, locust, up dog if you feel ready. And then exhale, down dog. Connect to the earth here, hands and feet. Just let yourself be in your body here. Notice how you're feeling. When you're ready, inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step it forward, Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1, sweep up. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank pose. Your choice, lower halfway chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, any back bend. Open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, couple of breaths here, just noticing. So maybe if your tendency is always to move through a vinyasa and you feel like you're rushing, take some time to go and just press back to down dog. Maybe if you always take baby cobra, maybe try cobra or even locust pose today. So lots of choices. On empty lungs, look forward, walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Breathe into a flat back. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, mountain pose. Good, moving on, but we'll stay with our sun B. Inhale, sink low. Exhale, sweep the arms back, airplane arms, chest is lifted. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep them up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank, your choice, vinyasa or down dog. Checking in with yourself, maybe trying something new, changing your perspective. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step it forward, warrior one, pivot your back heel down. Good, breathing in. Exhale, tree pose, top of your mat. Good, take a couple of breaths here. You're gonna drop your left arm down. Go ahead and swing that left knee around, raise it up to hip height just briefly. And then let it come down, dancer pose or standing half moon. So you're gonna send that foot back, reach for the inner side of that foot. Start to shift forward, press your foot into your hand, or standing half bow, you're just gonna send that arm forward, keep the knee in line with your hip. So lots of choices. Breathing, focusing. Focal points or dristis work really well here, yogis. Good, bring that foot underneath you. Release is high lunge, send it back. Good, take a twist to the right, prayer twist. So hook that elbow on the outside of your right knee. Keep lifting through your chest as you rotate. back knee is straight. Good, nice big inhale, high lunge. Exhale, take the hands down to the mat, plank pose. Your choice, so you might just press back to down dog. You might take a pause in child's pose. You might move through that Vinyasa series. Do what works for you today. Maybe trying a new thing or two. Beautiful, yogis. Focusing on that open heart, that strong back body. Be in your body. See how you feel today, right now. When you're ready, let's take a cleansing breath. So inhaling through the nose. Big exhale through the mouth. Inhale, left leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it forward, warrior one, sweep up. Soft taps of the shoulders, breathe. Exhale, tree pose, top of the mat. Nice and tall through that pelvis. Hips are lifted. Good, send your right arm down. Go ahead and bring your right knee around, lift that knee up to hip height just briefly and pause. Then start to send that leg back. Catch the instep of your foot with your right hand, standing half bow, or press the foot into the hand, come more into a back bend for dancer pose. Really feeling that openness into the chest, doing your best to keep the knee in line with your hip, and breathe. Good, slowly come out of it, send that leg back, high lunge. Beautiful. Exhale, prayer twist to the left. Back knee stays straight, nice and strong. Good, inhale, high lunge. Bring those arms back up. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank pose. Your choice, chaturanga, back bend of your choice. Maybe your locust pose this time, you send the arms forward, float the feet up. Really feeling that back body. Stay there for a breath or two. And then exhale to downward facing dog. Breathing deeply here. Good, cleansing breath, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. Good, this time step the right foot forward, pivot the back heel down and come up to warrior two. Gazing over that front hand. So we're going to keep with our theme of new perspectives and a little bit of balancing today. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, make your way to half moon. So you're going to shift your weight onto that front leg. Let the back leg float up. Try to open your front body to that left wall. Feel free to use leave your big toe down if you need to. For an additional challenge, you're going to take your gaze to the left wall. Otherwise, you can keep your gaze down towards your right hand or foot. Good. Take a breath in. As you exhale, left hand to the floor. Right hand reaches up, revolved half moon. So switching that rotation. Square that lifted foot so the toes point towards the floor. Try to keep that front knee straight as much as you can. Feel the activation in your hips. Good. Gently release, high lunge. Sweep up. Beautiful. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank pose. Your choice. Vinyasa or skip it. And come to down dog or child's pose. Grounding through the hands and feet, just be in your body. Take a moment of gratitude for your body. Look at all the cool things that you can do despite whatever limitations you have. Great job coming to your mats today, yogis. When you're ready, looking forward, step the left foot through, pivot the back heel down, Virabhadrasana 2. Look forward over that left hand, slightly tailbone tucking here. Belly is in, tops of the shoulders are soft. Good, take a gaze down at that front knee, make sure you can see your big toe. Take a breath in. As you exhale, shift forward, half moon. Doing your best to bring those left fingertips to the floor, to the block. We're going to spend a little bit of time here. So maybe if you can, if your gaze is typically down towards the floor, see if you can shift it to the right wall. It's harder. So you're taking that focal point or drishti and you're changing it while you're actively balancing. Do what works for you here. Take another breath in. As you exhale, switch your hands. So right hand to the floor, left arm reaches up, revolved half moon. Pivot those toes towards the floor on your right foot. Try taking your gaze from the floor to the left wall this time. Breathing, belly is in. That lifted leg is so active. You have your foot flexed. You feel that energy through your heel. Good, gracefully release, high lunge, sweep your arms up. Beautiful. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank pose. Your last vinyasa, lower halfway chaturanga, if you want. Any back bend of your choice. Let's stay in our back bends for a couple of breaths here. So maybe it's locust, maybe it's cobra, maybe it's up dog. Notice that expansion across your chest and shoulders. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Stay for a couple of breaths in down dog. I want you to think about melting your heart back towards your thighs. Lengthening the back of the legs and the calves. Grounding through your hands and feet. Let's take a cleansing breath here. So inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. Good, one more time. Inhale through the nose. Big heavy sigh through the mouth. Good, looking forward towards your hands. Take a walk up to your hands and then take a seat in the middle part of your mat. We're gonna float our arms up, taking our time, come all the way down to our backs. So nice and slow, engage the belly. Good, and then release down to your back here. And just take a little bit of time here, just taking a breath or two, just noticing how you feel. And then we'll extend the arms down at the sides. If you have a prop, it could be a pillow or a rolled towel, or if you have a yoga block, feel free to grab that. We're gonna do a unsupported legs up the wall. So if you have even a rolled towel, you're gonna place that underneath the base of your sacrum. If you don't have it, you can do it without a prop as well. Just sometimes even an inch of lift gives a little different perspective for the pose. So grounding down here, something underneath the base of the sacrum. If you have it, arms down at your sides, chest is open. Extend your legs up one at a time towards the ceiling. And if you, wherever you are, if you have a wall and you can get your butt and your sit bones pretty close to the wall and then send the legs up so your legs are supported, that's also a nice way to do this. Good thing to do, honestly, beginning or end of the day, depending on how you feel. And just allow your eyes to close for a little bit here. So let the breath deepen. Once again, just start to scan your body. First, noticing how you feel. Bringing your awareness and your attention back to your breath. See if you can shift it back low into the belly. Just noticing again the gentle rise and fall of the belly with each breath. Once again, a moment of gratitude for coming to your mat today and for dedicating this time for self-care. Hopefully you explored or maybe tried even just one different thing that you don't traditionally do in your practice today. And I invite you to try that as you move off of your mat as well. And then just reconnecting with that intention that you set for your practice today. Taking another deep breath into it. And then exhale to let it go. And when you feel ready, you can start to slowly release your legs down one at a time. If you had a prop, you can scoot it off to the side. And we'll go ahead and draw the knees into the chest again. Just rocking gently from side to side to start to massage out the low back. And then taking the next minute or so, explore any additional poses that might feel good for you. So maybe a reclining spinal twist, maybe a happy baby or a wide leg straddle might feel good, maybe another inversion. Just using this time to check in with yourself, completing your practice before we move into our final relaxation. And then when you have completed those additional poses, if it's available to you, I invite you to come to your stomach today for Shavasana. We're going to come into that crocodile pose where you're going to stack your hands and let your feet relax out to the side. So once again, just keeping with that theme of new perspectives, trying new things, looking at things in a different way. If for whatever reason you're not comfortable on your stomach, just go into your traditional Shavasana on your back. It's completely fine. So there's no judgment here. Just inviting you to try something new if it works out for you. So toes out to the side, hands are stacked, forehead to the mat. Feel what you feel here, the expansion of your belly into the earth. Take a cleansing breath, inhaling deeply through the nose. Big, heavy sigh, let everything go through the mouth. Let the ground support you here. Allowing the eyes to close. Noticing once again the environment that you're in. Using your senses to take it all in. And then just push pause for a few moments. Enjoying stillness in the body and peace in the mind. And when you feel ready, you can slowly begin to deepen your breath. And just taking your time, we'll still choose a side to come over onto. Just curling yourself up there briefly. Taking another nice deep breath in. And then as you're ready, making your way up to a comfortable seated position. Take a moment to find some length in the spine. And then we'll bring the hands together at heart center. Drop your chin down and take one deep breath into your heart. Yogis, I thank you each for sharing your practice with me today. The light in me honors the light that is in each of you. Namaste.